All right, welcome back. We're about to watch New Jersey High Rollers take on San Francisco Sirens. I'm Matt Falby. I'm joined in the booth by Sydney. Sydney from Hornets Nest Paintball. Sydney, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Sydney. I play D4. This closer. I play D4. And yeah.
All right, welcome to the booth, Sydney. So on your right, you got San Francisco Sirens. On our left, we have New Jersey High Rollers. High Rollers in, this is Vada into the Snake Rito. We're calling this the Snake Rito, by the way.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So I believe on your side, we're still 5-on-5?
Yes.
All right.
Ref's going in to check one of the players at the 50 brick. Clean.
All right, so we're going to stay 5-on-5. So Vadia's going to try to wrap, see if she can put paint on that home.
Beta's looking to go on this Snake Dorito here.
For the Sirens, we have doubled up the middle, now moving up the Dorito side, well, their Snake side into that wedge over there on the High Rollers Dorito side. I'm not sure anybody picked her up, which puts the High Rollers at a lot of danger right now. I still don't see any, unless you see it, I still don't see any paint coming in at that wedge over there.
No one is putting any pressure on them. Yep, she gets one.
So nice run through over there on their Snake side versus the High Rollers Dorito side. Takes one with her. I maybe could say for value, she might have actually been better staying where she was.
Yeah.
And just getting some kills before trading off.
Or when she went to go bunker, she could have been a little more cautious too.
Yeah, maybe pulled up short or something.
Yeah.
All right, Duck's looking, oh no, she wrapped just a little too much. Vada's going to take a walk, unfortunately. That leaves 3 players left alive for the High Rollers. For the Sirens, looks like we have that inside wedge.
We have, and one at the brick.
One at the brick.
There's, yeah, 1, 2.
There it is. Oh, she got very lucky. She almost walked right into a gun. Janiyah Curtis was looking her way, but somehow she dodged it, Matrix style.
I think it's just a 2-on-4 or 2-on-3.
2-on-3, I believe you're correct. You wouldn't know it, but even though the Sirens are down bodies, they're the ones trying to push this and win it.
Yeah.
They
got the field pretty crossed for High Rollers though, so.
You know what? I always look at knees to tell me what a team is about to do. And if you look at the High Rollers, they're all on their, well, 2 of their front guys are on knees, which tells me they're not ready to go do a run through.
Sobi, I think, and the Aztec over there would be the only one to make a move. She's got no one looking her way.
I think you're right. Look at her. She's got her feet going.
She's going.
Good call. Is she going to try to bunker through the middle? She is.
That's Sobi.
It's probably going to be a trade out.
Oh, that was a spin. I was going to say that looked like a spin there.
You're absolutely correct. That's going to be a major called on Sirens. Sirens are not only going to lose this point, they're going to have to start down a body on the next one. Oof.
I was going to say that was a pretty blatant spin there. She had no idea she was coming around the bunker like that.
So you're arguing the players should get better at dirty spins. I think that's what I'm hearing.
No, I don't know. I always like to dissect the penalties and stuff, so I try to pay as much close attention as I can.
All right, well, Sydney is from Hornets Nest Paintball.
Yes.
And you guys have a few events coming up?
Yes, I believe we have 10-man mech, I think July, and we also have a 3-man speedball tournament, I think next weekend, yeah.
I have to ask, the Hornets Nest logo has a Yankees tattoo on the upper left shoulder.
Yeah, so
that's kind of divisive. Yeah, I'm from Boston, so I don't think I can ever go play it in Hornets Nest now.
So the whole thing behind that is really it's just for the New York logo. It's not. None of us at Hornets Nest really watch baseball or anything like that.
You heard it here first. Hornets Nest hates the Yankees. I'm gonna ruin your business.
It's okay.
All right, here we go. Northern Lights on your left, Immortal Angels on your right. Northern Lights into Snake immediately. Wow, Immortal Angels crossed the 50 right off the bat. I wonder if she's going to go try to dunk her mirror.
Oh, kill one off.
Yep.
What team is that on this side again?
So we got Northern Lights on our left. We got Immortal Angels on our right. Immortal Angels up the middle have crossed the 50.
Yeah, they have a one-body advantage, I believe. Let's kill 2 on Northern Lights.
Wow, bodies just
3.
peeling off for Northern Lights. I believe that just might leave that mini temple the Snake. I think all we have left for Northern Lights.
We got one in the Dorito corner, if you want to call it that, on the far side, and then one in this W right here.
Dorito corner's not a bad place to cross it up.
No.
She's not content with sitting. She's gonna try to push the matter. That's not gonna work.
The Dorito corner is what I played a lot last weekend on this layout.
All right, that leaves, I believe, just the Snake alive for Northern Lights. Actually, no, I take it back. We had a...
Oh,
No,
I didn't
that's a
even
kill.
see that.
All right, kill for Northern Light. Kill for
yeah.
Northern Lights. She takes the Dorito player.
So it's a 4 on 1, I believe, or 3 on 1?
I think we just have one for the Northern Lights. For Immortal Angels, we have that middle brick. We now have the
1.
50. We now have Dorito 3, so 3 on 1.
No, there's one in the wedge over on that.
Yep.
And then there was one in this little brick over here too,
Okay.
in the center.
Well, the odds are bad.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. The odds are very bad.
She's not doing a bad job holding it though. She's really not.
I can absolutely make an argument for doing exactly what the Immortal Angels are doing right now, which is they're up 3 bodies, just very, very slow. Don't take any risks. Don't think anything stupid. The odds are in your favor unless you get dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, and Schellenberg is going to take a walk. Cassandra did everything she could. As a matter of fact, she held in there for a very long time, but that was not a winnable situation. All right, congrats to Immortal Angels. Still need to hit the buzzer. There's always the chance of a dirty hang. Although teams have gotten so smart now, I actually don't see many dirty hang penalties anymore.
Yeah.
It's so
very
rare.
Yeah.
All right, Sirens versus High Rollers. High Rollers have a 1-point lead with 11.5 on the clock. 11.5 is essentially in a complete game.
Got Janaea up at the little W on the Snake side. Ref's going in to check Taylor at the 50. She's hit.
I see Laundry on the field. That means a penalty for High Rollers.
Yeah, minor.
Sirens at advantage right now. We've got Sirens in the Snake, Home, and Dorito corner. For High Rollers, we have, I believe, Dorito 1.
Yes.
The mini wall in the middle of the field.
Snake corner, or like the little wedge.
So then we're looking at a 3-on-3 situation.
Sirens have the better positioning here, I feel like.
Yeah, Allison Cook sliding up to this wedge on their Snake side, looking cross. Honestly, she has a chance to cap that mini wall. That mini wall's playing a little high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Well, opportunities passed. Mini walls pulled in. Cook's going to look. She's going to wrap and look for something in the middle. There's really nothing in the middle at this point.
Oh, this person for high roller is going to catch her.
Just went a bridge too far there.
Mm-hmm. It's a 3-on-2 now, I believe.
All right, Siren players trying to survive at home, now making a move up that Dorito side to the 50 wedge. High rollers countering by getting in the D3. That counter works. They take out the wedge player.
It is a 3-on-1 now. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
3-on-1 situation.
Oh, Siren player just got hit in her ponytail, but it bounced off.
That's why I stick to the braids versus a ponytail.
Yeah.
Always. Oh.
There it is. There's going to be a closeout by Colomista. Good fight out of the Sirens. I like their aggressiveness up the Dorito side. I think they got a little bit sloppy over here on their snake side. Unfortunately, Allison Cook could have done a lot more damage if she just taken a breath and maybe slowed down just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think she got frustrated with nothing to shoot at because that mini wall had pulled back in and she decided to make the bump and just ran into a gun waiting for her.
Yeah, I think if she had waited at this wedge on the Dorito side, if she had just waited for Carly to dive up into that second Dorito, she would have caught her in the leg or something.
Yeah.
But they both moved at the same exact time. So.
All right. Well, Immortal Angels up by 1 point over Northern Lights. 12.5 on the clock. There's going to be a almost immediate run through. We're going to lose our first player for Northern Lights from the snake.
Traded out from the 50.
Trade on the middle. So body advantage for Immortal Angels. They're now pushing up into the snake Rito. Mercedes Walter here in this snake Dorito. She's looking cross. She's backed up from the inside snake wedge. All right, so 4 bodies alive for Immortals. Immortals are going to go ahead and make that push to that wedge. That's Walter. She's going to look cross. She does not have a visual on the other snake player, that inside snake wedge. However, the snake player for Northern Lights takes a guess and just starts putting paint in that direction.
Oh, she killed the Dorito 2, I believe.
And nice shooting by Walter.
I believe it's a 4-on-1 or 2.
I would say Northern Lights players have kind of gone to ground. Snake player is definitely setting a trap. She wants Walter to try to make that bump, and she's going to put a lane and try to bait Mercedes into making a mistake. We're going to lose our middle player there for Northern Lights.
So now it is a 1-on or 4-on-1.
Yeah, it is a bad situation.
Yeah. I mean, they held it off the last time for a decent amount.
True. Now the Northern Lights snake player, by the way, there is a miscommunication here for Angels. Some of them are calling snake 3, some of them are calling snake 2, but no matter, they kind of know where it's at. There's an opportunity for that Northern Lights player to drop back, do something like that. I wouldn't mind seeing her drop back to her own snake, crawl to the back, maybe try to bait somebody into bunkering an empty bunker. Just sitting there and trying to win a 3-on-1 gunfight is a lot to ask.
Oh, she dropped that trap she was setting, that lane. She dropped it, and it gave Walter the freedom to move up to their Dorito 3.
She's backed up by Jennifer Walker on the inside wedge. Immortal still have another player over in that mini tempo on the backside left. Mercedes makes a bump. Jennifer also makes a bump up to that middle brick. This really shouldn't be Mercedes doing all the work,
No.
but it works. They're going to take out the last Northern Lights player. Walk it in, go up to a 2-0 advantage. With that was a relatively fast game. We still have 9 on the clock. I'm actually surprised. That felt like a long game.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's interesting. We have a gun being tested, either for velocity or for rate of fire.
Yeah, I seen the refs. As soon as she hit the buzzer, the refs were all pointing at her.
Are the refs giving it back?
Major.
Did we see a flag?
Yes, it went behind the Dorito.
Oh. So that, if it's a minor, I think that can only be velocity. Because if it's rate of fire above 10.5, I think that goes to a major automatically.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I don't really know. I know when I see a flag, like, it doesn't mean anything good. So.
Don't do bad stuff and
yeah.
you'll be fine. Stay in school, kids. Take your vitamins. Don't get flags. That's the lesson here. So we talk about organizational deaths. Organizational deaths are when you're late to a box, and maybe that's because your pods weren't filled fast enough, maybe because it's your fault, or maybe your coach's fault. Organizational deaths are, in my opinion, the worst because you got no value out of it other than you just cost your team a body. So to get a body pulled on either a gun firing over the rate of fire or wrong mode of fire or over velocity is just, to me, like another unexcusable organizational death.
Like when you don't do your homework,
Yeah, you're no value to your team if you're taking deaths. And again, late to the box, that may not be your fault. It could be somebody on your team didn't.
But having your gun not set to the right settings is.
I am shocked.
iffy.
I am shocked at how many players have no idea how to even set their own guns. They hand it off to somebody else, usually me, and go, here, can you put it in 10.5? And I'm like, these things have LCD screens now and only 3 buttons. You only have to fight with 3 buttons. It's not hard.
And it comes with a manual book.
Yeah.
Like, just look at it.
I don't know. But so many players just have no idea.
Yeah, I keep mine in NXL mode.
And you should be fine.
Yeah.
It's not hard. All right, thank you to Alabama Paintball. They have 3 locations. If you're down in that area, give them a chance. They have locations specifically for private games. They have locations for pretty much everything, including other modes of play like Jelly Ball and Paintball Light, low impact. And then they have another location that's dedicated to kind of mixed use. Like, for instance, if you're a hardcore tournament player, you can go to their central location. So thank you to Alabama Paintball. So you playing any events up at Hornets Nest, or are you working there?
I'm reffing this one currently going on, the 3-man series that we have. 10-man, I'm not sure yet. Depends if our team wants to put a line in.
Yep.
We would have played here, but not enough of us could get up here, and it is what it is. So we'll be in World Cup though, playing D4 for Public Enemy. So yeah.
Nice. Well, look forward to it. What's your team name?
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy. Watch for Public Enemy at the World Cup, people.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 10.6. All right, I just got the inside scoop from Jason, our on-field head ref. That was a gun at 10.6.
And as we were just saying, late to the box, high rollers here almost had a rough start. They were rushing to the box.
I mean, this is mid-season. These teams should have this stuff ironed out. They shouldn't be getting penalties for guns in the wrong modes. They shouldn't be getting late to the box. Yeah. This isn't event 1. All right, looks like we got Veda back up here, number 11, for the high rollers.
Christina getting a check here.
Oh, run through in the middle by the high rollers. Looks like she did it live, but slipped going back. She got away with it.
Yes.
Very aggressive. She's going to drop and crawl to their wedge. If she does it successfully, she's going to blow up a lot of bodies.
High Rollers lost Sobe in that Aztec on the D side.
Sirens lose their inside snake wedge. There it is. Do you know what you just saw? You just saw the coach realize that they had a player at their 30-yard line snake wedge, and their coach just went, yeah, well, there's no reason to play this out.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
So, wait, who is Hernandez?
That is Hernandez that did that drop and crawl.
That was a great move.
I did, yeah, that was a great move. I actually don't have her on my roster, so I'm not sure of her first name. Unless you know it.
No, actually, I don't.
Well, let's make up a name. We'll go with Allison.
Yeah.
All right, well, great move. I think that move's there for the taking, and not many teams have figured it out. A drop and crawl along that snake beam, you can be essentially in the other team's backfield very, very quickly and do just an enormous amount of damage.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not coming up with a Hernandez on any of the rosters I have. We may just stumbled onto an illegal player.
Maybe.
She could be wearing somebody else's jersey.
That is true.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
Trying
We had
to
a
see,
TPP crew out here today.
Yeah.
Their main killer on the snake side was wearing a jersey that just said pit crew. So,
That gave nobody any help.
I don't know who it was. To pit crew. Most dangerous player on TPP crew today.
Watch out for the pit crew, I guess, right?
Yeah. You've got a really deep bench if your pit crew is taking up points. Again, a little bit late to the box. I see Aaron Scott rolling out there for Northern Lights. Aaron Scott, one of the core players for the Lights over the last few years. All right, we had a little bit of a hurry up and wait. Everybody got to the box. I think the refs are taking a technical timeout for some reason.
I think because it said 30 seconds and then immediately
Jumped
to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, game tied up 1-1, about 9 minutes on the clock. I think there's going to be a run all the way to the middle brick from the Northern Lights. Yep, there it is.
She's going up to theirs.
Gonna
Yep.
cross.
Oh!
Both teams crossed. Both teams are going to lose their middle players.
That was a great run. Both traded out, both to each other's brick.
I think the Immortal Angel got the spin kill, a clean spin kill, and I think and then got killed by somebody else from Northern Lights. I'm not sure the Northern Light player that she took went with her.
Maybe the snake in this W
Might have blown her up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amanda outfield, now into that inside wedge. Snake player really wants to go for Northern Lights. She wants into that Dorito. She's got a gun on her. If she can get gun dominance and go, there it is.
Immortal Angels lost their home player.
This is Schellenberg taking that Dorito for Northern Lights. Cassandra looking to wrap, see if she can do some damage on the inside. Nice shooting. Schellenberg is going to get a kill and then move up to this wedge. This is all Northern Lights right now, although as I say that, they do lose their player on their Dorito side. But Schellenberg now crossing the 50. She's into their D3. That Temple doesn't know.
Oh,
that Temple's going to die for that. Cassandra having a hell of a game.
It is a 3-on-1 again?
Yeah, I think you might be right. This is like, what, the fourth 3-on-1 that we've watched? She chooses to
Yeah.
move forward from that
She
3-on-1.
gets clipped.
You know what? I'm okay with the coach not flagging that one out immediately. She let her player make that move up to the 50. There's a chance for something crazy to happen. So in a 3-on-1, let her, in that situation, yeah, let the time run. Give up 10, 15 seconds of clock time for a chance at something crazy happening.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, she could have went in there clean and killed these 2 bodies and just had this one left. Like,
All right. Well, we are going back over to the San Francisco Sirens versus New Jersey High Rollers. High Rollers with a nice fat lead, 0-3. Not quite 8 minutes on the clock. That is enough time for the Sirens. However, if the Sirens drop another point to the High Rollers, then they're in almost instant. And again, late to the field.
High Rollers late to the box.
Stop doing that.
again. What happened over there with Taylor?
I think either she didn't tag up properly.
Her hopper is turned to the side. I think it got stuck in between Jess and Allie as she was trying to lift up.
Okay. And that got her caught out in the open and blown up.
And we lost Jess on High Rollers, so it's a 3-on-4 now.
All right. However, Sirens do lose their inside wedge player.
Oh, Sirens going all the way down to their side of the field.
That's going to be it.
Yep.
All right, good point for San Francisco Sirens. I don't mean to take anything away from them, but frankly, High Rollers, what a mess. What a mess to the start of that point.
They were doing pretty good until the last 2 points. I mean, whatever that was, not watching the time carefully, or
like we talked about, organizational deaths.
Yeah.
Even if all 5 of their players tagged and were alive, which I think all 5 of their players did tag, they were in a state of confusion. They're in a state of chaos before, and the buzzer rang about a second after they hit the box. It just makes a mess. You cannot get to the box at the last second.
No.
You have to tag up with at least 5 seconds to calm down, catch your breath, and remember what you're doing out there. This is uncharacteristic middle of the season to see organizations having this problem. This is the kind of thing you should see event 1, not middle of the year.
Yeah.
I say as if I could do any better.
I feel like Taylor, I feel like if her hopper hadn't gotten stuck or whatever had happened, I feel like she would have made it up to wherever she needed to be and stayed alive, but.
Did it get caught? Some of these bunkers have the bungee cords on the top.
Yeah, I seen that. One of the, what's that one team on this side again?
Well, we have Sirens on the left, we have the High Rollers on the right.
I think it was, no, but I'm saying for Immortal Angels. I think it was one of their players when they crossed over, their foot got wedged into, or maybe it was the Sirens player. Yeah. Got wedged into the bungee.
Northern Lights threw a body through the middle, doesn't accomplish anything. They're only up 2-1. It's not a great situation to be throwing bodies away.
That Siren player not Siren, sorry. Angels, their player in the 50 there had no idea that, I'm so bad with names, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Who do we have on the right here? I'm sorry.
So we have Northern Lights on the right.
Yeah, Northern Lights, that's what I was going to say, yeah. So Northern Lights tried to do a run through and completely missed the Angels girl in the 50 here.
Northern Lights now pushing up to that inside snake wedge. She's going to look cross. Frankly, she's wasting her gun on something that's not hot. So there's been some miscommunication on the Northern Lights side. Mercedes. Walter looking to maybe make her bump. She's got a knee down. She's doing a reload. Let's see if she tries to make that bump to the wedge. No, she's going to hold up. At the middle 50 brick, you've got Jennifer Walker. I don't like how high she's standing. I'm really kind of worried about her hopper getting clipped. Immortal Angels also use the opportunity to move up to the D2. All right, we're at about 4 minutes, 40 seconds now. That's a lot of time. If, and this is an if, and I think the Immortal Angels is going to win this. But if the Immortal Angels lose this, they need to do so with at least about 3 minutes on the clock. Because if they're down by 2 points with less than 3 minutes on the clock, then the match is really, really difficult to pull back to even.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard.
I know it's weird advice to tell a team, try to lose fast, but that's essentially what they need to do if they're going to lose it. But I think they're going to win this. They're pulling bodies off right now. Northern Lights are the ones taking the walk. It's
not easy to get 3 or 4 points in 3 minutes. It seems like a lot of time, and it seems easy, but
it is not.
It is not. I've been in that situation. It's a lot easier said than done.
So there was a trade. There was a run up and trade with a Northern Lights player. I don't like that trade because you're already down bodies. That's not the time to trade your body. All right, looks like Walker in the middle trying to help close this out. Oh, that was.
Oh.
That was Aaron who got blown up in the middle trying to trade with that middle brick. Unfortunately for Aaron, she didn't get the kill in. She got a lot of pain for her trouble. All right, Angels are going to tie it up 2-2. 3 minutes on the clock. Now we're in a bad situation for whoever loses the next point between those two. Because it's 3 minutes on the clock. It's tied up 2-2. Most likely, the next game will take about 2 minutes, and that means the team that's down by a point will only have a minute to pull it out. Not impossible, but that's tough,
really
especially on this layout. So this next point is super critical. Thanks again to Hornets Nest. Hornets Nest has provided us both sponsorship and Sydney.
Thank you.
For the webcast. All right, here we go. High Rollers up 3-1. 7 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time for Sirens.
Even with the High Rollers having a delayed start the last couple of points, not making it to the box on time, are up 2 points. That's not bad.
That is kind of impressive for that kind of disorganization.
Yeah. We got Taylor up in the 50 brick, and Hernandez, I believe, in the Snake 2 for High Rollers.
All right, High Rollers go up a couple bodies. I don't love the Siren player in that can as being a little bit too predictable and are coming out and attempting. Uh-oh, there's a minor.
Oh.
Minor on the High Rollers. They're going to pull players all the way from the middle here. That leaves just 2 High Rollers left alive.
It's a 2-on-1, I believe.
And unfortunately, that inside wedge looking the wrong way. So High Rollers have no real incentive to hit this buzzer. They should. Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
All right. Sirens towel out on that one. So have you gotten to play this layout?
Yes, I didn't like it at all on paper. I'm going to be so honest. I did not like it whatsoever on paper because the Vegas layout, when I played that, I didn't like that at all. It confused me a lot. But this, when I played it and I seen all the lanes and the cross shots, I don't mind it at all, actually.
So the internet reaction as soon as this came out was, I think, 60% negative.
Yeah.
20% neutral, and whatever 20% liked it.
Yeah.
Just because it's what's called a point symmetrical field and not a linear symmetrical field.
Yeah.
I think most people, their immediate reaction seeing is they didn't like it.
Yeah, but then when you get to go on it and play on it and see the lanes and what you actually have on it, I don't mind it at all.
All right, tied up 2-2. The winner of this point is in a huge advantage for this match. Loser of this point is in a bad situation. All right, Northern Lights up the middle and into Snake 2. Northern Lights in good field position here. Yep, there we go. Clean side slide by Northern Lights into the can. Immortal Angels moving from home sideways into that can also. Now we have the Northern Lights moving up to the inside wedge. Looks like Northern Lights are going to stay locked onto that snake from the middle brick.
Northern Lights losing their 50 body.
Amanda Atfield and Hannah Urquhart working together over here on this snake side. They got a good hold position going here. I think at this point I'd like to see the Northern Light mini brick move up to that large size brick in the middle.
Yeah, there's not anything putting pressure on her. And if so, it's only the snake body, which it looks like it's just the 50 brick they're looking inside.
Northern Lights pushing that Dorito side now up to D2. We are at a minute 15. This could go to time. I don't see an overwhelming advantage for either team right now.
Yeah, they're playing pretty I wouldn't say pocket, but they're all playing very like calm.
Yeah,
so.
kind of smart slow ball. First player taking a walk, or player taking a walk for Immortal Angels on the back line. Mini
Yeah.
Temple.
Oh.
Northern Lights going to lose a player over on the Dorito side. Same time, Angels lose their middle brick.
They got a D2 player for Angels. And I think that might be it, but I'm not sure.
All right, here's an attempt by Urquhart to actually finish this out. She's going to do it fast. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. I mean, at this point, risk a run through.
Oh, the Dorito is the only last body for Angels right now.
They got to recognize that and go. They're under 20 seconds. They have a prime opportunity to win this thing. Urquhart's going to go for it. She should just keep going. Switch to the inside. Run the inside lane. Instead of going outside. There we go. Someone's willing to do it.
You guys
All right,
got 3.
3, 2. Oh, they didn't get it.
Took too much time to recognize what they had.
That is heartbreaking. I mean, you're getting it a chance in overtime, but
like, who knows? They had that game all day, and then overtime, anything can happen. And
that was such a golden opportunity to finish that one out, because again, if they would have hit the buzzer, and they were only 10 feet from the buzzer.
yeah.
So that the argument isn't they failed to run fast enough in the last 10 feet. The argument is they needed to make that push about 10 seconds earlier.
That's what I was going to say,
And then
yeah.
they'd be winning this match right now. All right. Well, back over to the San Francisco Sirens versus the New Jersey High Rollers. High Rollers have a really good lead with a 4-1. However, 5 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. That's enough time for Sirens. They can string some wins together. You know what I like seeing is both teams made it to the box clean.
Yes. Not a lot of, no rushing this point.
Sirens going to lose a player on the back line. Crossing the 50, asking for a check. She's out. That leaves 3 bodies left alive for the Sirens. Anybody walking off yet from the High Rollers?
No. Ref checking the D1.
4. No, I think we might be still
she's
5 alive
clean?
for Rollers.
Yeah, we got 1 in the snake for High Rollers, 1 in the can, the home, the D-side Aztec, and the D2. It's a 5-on-2 in High Roller's favor.
So San Francisco actually has home, the mini wall, and the Dorito corner. So they do have 3 left alive,
Yes.
but they're not in great position to win this game, and the clock is just rolling off. Which
Yeah.
for the Sirens, the clock is the other enemy they have right now. Even if they win this point, they need to win it fast enough to allow them a chance to win 2 more points.
Yeah. Like when it hits the 3-minute mark, I'd say they should already be done with this point in order to get up, you know.
Right. There we go. Pushed by the Sirens up that Dorito side. Oh, Hopper hit it home. She's going to get pulled. She might be getting a flag. Yeah, there it is.
Minor. So
Again,
just 1 body left for the Sirens now. It's a 5-on-1. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It is a 5-on-1 situations in favor of the High Rollers right now.
So for the High Rollers, they have no reason not to just sit.
Yeah.
Force the last Siren player to come at them because they're up 4-1, 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, just
kill time.
just breathe and or
Veda tries the pod trick. There's absolutely nobody in front of her
yeah.
to fall for it, though.
I don't think she knows if it's just 1 body left.
No,
Yeah.
she had no idea.
At least she tried it though.
Yeah.
Smart.
All right, well, Northern Lights, Immortal Angels tied up 2-2, 5 minutes on the clock. No, this is our overtime point.
Yeah, overtime.
Thanks again to Hornets Nest. What town is Hornets Nest in? I know it's New York.
Ancramdale.
What is
Ancramdale?
Ann Hermdale. Okay.
Ancramdale. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but
So there's a
it's
reason
nice.
for that, right?
Yeah.
If your paintball fields are not, despite how expensive it is to play paintball fields do not make tons of money. So when you're
Yeah.
opening a paintball field, you kind of have 2 choices. If you locate near a population center, a town with a lot of housing and a lot of people living there, the problem is the land is really, really expensive, and it's hard to. You have a lot of player potential because there's urban. Alternatively, you put your field kind of out in a rural setting where the land is much, much cheaper, but now you're asking your average customer to drive a half hour, 45 minutes to get to you, and it cuts down on your player base. So the holy grail of opening a paintball field is somehow magically finding land cheap enough near a suburb or even in a big city or something like that. And then you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And even worse, when you live in New York
Mhm.
and you have winter, which
Yes.
is not good for paintball, and players that live in the northern area that have to deal with winter love to complain about why aren't there more indoor fields? I've worked
have
for an
one.
indoor. What's that?
We have an indoor field.
You have
Yes.
2 or 1?
Just 1. Yeah.
1. That is a gold mine. It is so hard to keep indoor fields running financially. It's so hard. So good for you. Go support your indoor field. All right, Northern Lights, 5 alive. They choose to spread across the back. Angels a little more aggressive, although they are going to lose their snake side player. So 5-on-4 advantage, Northern Lights.
Northern Lights also losing a body. Yes.
So 4-4. So overtime, teams are a little bit more risk averse. You're going to see players willing to sit a little bit longer, take a little bit less risks.
I feel like they're playing more cautious and like not very, but a little conservative compared to what they were or how they were playing before.
I think we're looking at the exact same teamwork we've seen out of Northern Lights here. Schellenberg working together with number 28, Amanda Atfield, working this snake side. They did pick up a kill from the middle. So that's, I think, a 2-body advantage for Northern Lights at this point. Northern Lights pushed up to their Dorito side 50. Northern Lights really in a dominant position now. At this point, the Angels are really just sitting down, hoping for a mistake by Northern Lights that they can capitalize on. They need to catch a Northern Light player in transition
Yeah.
One bucket or another. However, they're going to lose another player in the middle for the Angels.
It is a 2-on-3.
I think so.
One in the Aztec.
Something over in that snake
and
area.
The Dorito for the Angels.
No, we have D2 and we have Mini Temple. So they're scrunched up into this corner over here. An awful, awful tactical situation considering how their body's down. Another body peeled off. And a minor, that's it.
That's game over for the Angels. Just rolling the guns. Is there one more body left over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Peel off one of the Northern Lights. Yeah, I think there was a snake player left.
I did not know that.
To be really honest, I think the Northern Lights are not aware of it either.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure it out. Amanda's looking around everywhere. She definitely doesn't trust the situation.
No.
She's got 2 teammates over on their Dorito side. Now crossing into Angel Snake side. You know what? We may have just witnessed. They may have shot their own teammates.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Whoever was on Northern Lights in this Dorito, I think they shot
Yep.
their player cross field when they were clearing it.
All right, well, there it is. Northern Lights really almost squandering an opportunity to close that out in regulation, managed to come back in overtime, clean it up, convincing win. Great work over here by Atfield and Schellenberg. They've been teaming up to do great work over here on this snake side for the Lights. All right, after this game, you're going to watch Suricatos take on Baltimore Nevermores and Dallas Vibe taking on Tiki's Ohana. Thank you for being here with us. All right, High Rollers with a commanding lead. 3.5 minutes on the clock, 5-1 for the Sirens. I mean, you're kind of playing for a little bit of pride here. You're playing for maybe a little bit of point differential that might affect a tiebreaker. Maybe going to the playoffs. High Rollers are going to lose their can on the back line.
So 4-on-5, 4-on-4.
Yeah. In a gesture of kindness, Sirens lose a player just to make sure the game is evened up. That's very polite of them.
Four on 3, High Rollers. Oh, no. High
3 on
Rollers
3.
losing a body. They just keep making this game even.
Yeah, they keep trading. However, they're going to lose a body in the middle for the Sirens. We're now at about 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
And it is a 2-on-2 now.
Wow, Sobe Glass taking a walk.
Okay, so now it is a 2-on-1, I believe.
It's hard to keep track. There's so many bodies walking off so quickly.
Yeah. Taylor and Hernandez kill the last body at the home.
Kill 2. Hernandez is calling kill 2.
Oh.
I'm sorry. The good news for you is I think you're wrong with your kill count.
Me?
No. Hernandez on the field just called kill 2. I'm like, no, it's kill 5. You're so far away. This is a good news, though. This is not a bad thing.
At least they're clearing the field, you know?
Yeah. I mean, awful bold play for thinking you've only killed 2 bodies.
If you're up in their side of the field and you've only killed 2 out of 5, I think we got some problems there, but
something's gone very, very right.
Yeah. Problems, like some problems, but in a good way, you know?
All right, well, High Rollers are going to finish that out.
Was that a mercy rule game?
That was a mercy roll kill. All right. Sorry. Oh, sorry for the slow. As a parting gift, I'm giving to a lot of our commentators. This is a chili package. If you have not tried Cincinnati chili yet, you can go home and try Cincinnati chili at home. As a local, it's my mission to convert the world over to Cincinnati chili.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us at home. We're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back with more WNXL action. Thank you so much.